Watch how Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura loses in just 33 moves against Arjun. Here, Arjun is playing with the white pieces and Hikaru is playing with the black pieces. The game starts with d4, d5, c4, e6, knight f3, knight f6, e3, b6, b3, b7, b2, bishop d7, bishop d3, bishop d6, and both sides castles. And then knight c3 and then pawn a6. And then rook e1, the best move in this position. And then pawn c5. White takes d5, knight takes d5 and an equal trade. But here, Hikaru fumbles and takes the knight with bishop. He was ought to take the knight with the pawn, so that his pawn could be in the center. But he took it with the bishop. And then bishop c2, this is a miss because here Arjun has to push e4 and then attack on the white bishop, and the white bishop has to move back. This would cost him a loss of a move. And then f5, here Hikaru must have thought that now e4 would not work, but still e4 is working. But here Hikaru was wrong and here e4 worked. F takes e4, this is a great move as it opens the file of the rook. Bishop takes e4, the best move because this was the only way. And then knight to f6, attacking on the bishop as well as developing a knight. Here Arjun takes the bishop. Bishop takes bishop, pawn takes bishop, and then queen d3, just centralizing the queen and connecting the rooks. And then knight e4, centralizing the knight. And then rook d1, that is an inaccuracy. And then king h8, I also don't know why Hikaru moved king h8, this is a mistake. And then pawn takes d5, attacking on the pawn on d5. And then bishop takes c5, protecting the pawn, but the pawn is no longer protected. And then rook e2, the best move because the pawn on f2 was on attack. And then queen c7, removing the queen. And then knight d4. And then knight takes f2 because it is protected by the rook, and hence it is an excellent move. Rook takes f2, that was the line that played. And then rook takes f2, king takes f2, queen h2, and here Arjun king is widely open. But Arjun did not hesitate and move his queen to h3, offering a queen trade. But of course, why would Hikaru accept the queen trade as Arjun rook is opened up? And then rook f8 check, the best move. King e2, the best move, and then queen e5. It's a mistake because Hikaru was ought to move his queen on f4 so that the f file would be covered with his queen and his rook. And then queen e3, a great move, offering a queen trade again. And then queen h2, I think so why Hikaru has played this to attack on g2 pawn, but the g2 pawn will be defended by queen g5. This is a great move. And then pawn h6, attacking the defender of the g2 pawn. And then queen takes g5. Still, the pawn on g2 has protection. And then queen g3. I don't know why Hikaru moved this queen g3. And then rook d2, this is a blunder. Then rook d2 is a blunder because of bishop b4. And then Arjun rook will be tapped. And he tries back to move back to d1. This would be mate in 1. And if Hikaru tried to move it to c2, this would be mate in 3. But Hikaru completely misses the tactic and gave rook f2 check. I don't know what type of game was Hikaru playing. And then king d1, offering a rook trade, and then rook f1 check, and then king c2, a great move. Now there is only one check, queen g6 check, and then king up to c3, and then queen g3 check, and then the knight blocks, and there are no more checks left. Hikaru position is so completely lost, so Hikaru resigned. I am not knowing what Hikaru was even thinking in this game or not, because he misses the craziest tactic ever. In this position, when your king is open up, you should not block the way of your king, because this will lead to a serious blunders. So that's for today. Hope you liked the video. Please tell me in the comments, do you liked it or not? Don't forget to subscribe. You can also dislike my video if you don't like it. Please, but like or dislike it. That gives me the rating of the video. Thank you.